Welcome to In Edina, a program about the people, places, and activities all connected to the city of Edina. I'm your host, Lillian McDonald. We bring you this special Halloween broadcast from Bachman's beautiful Home and Garden Center on Lindale. And joining us to talk about a little trick or treat safety is Sergeant Scott Kuiper from the Edina Police Department. Welcome to In Edina.
Thank you.
How do you like my little costume here?
It's very nice.
This is from the gay 90s days. And a lot of middle-class women would wear, this is considered a day dress that women would wear to go shopping in or whatnot, especially around on the Titanic. This would be a very popular outfit to wear. I bet you wanted to know all these kibbles and bits.
It's great to know what went down with the Titanic.
That my dress went down with the Titanic. I'll tell you what, at least let me take this hat down so that we can talk a little bit about trick-or-treat safety, because even though some of that information may be the same almost every year, it's important for us to be reminded of it come the Halloween season.
Absolutely.
Now, if you have children and you're going to be going trick-or-treating, there's some basic things that parents should do.
Sure. Like anything, when you're going to take your kids out, I would plan ahead. First of all, you're going to have to pick your costume with the kids. What do they think they want to be? What are they aspiring to be? What's in this year? When you're picking your costumes, first of all, try to avoid masks that are obstructive on view or breathing, something that's a little more open. Try to avoid costumes that would make them trip or fall when they're walking around trick-or-treating. It gives them freedom of movement, but also consider the fact that depending on weather as well, they're going to have to maybe layer up when they're out trick-or-treating.
Yeah, it could be pretty cool out.
We've gone from snow to warm, so whatever it might be. So,
you know, after carrying swords or something like that, they should be bendable and easy to break, because you know, you don't want to be running into people with them.
You always want pliable items with you, because if they do fall or run into something, you want a little less damage.
You don't want anybody to get hurt. Now, in addition to planning ahead for the costume, you suggest plan ahead the route.
Absolutely. First of all, you might want to set some expectations for the children then when they're going out, so that they don't think they're going to trick-or-treat the entire city. That way, if you have somebody covering the house handing out treats, that at least that way they have an area where they know you're going to be. They also might have a time frame of how long you're going to be out. And then, of course, the kids know where they're going to go, whether you're going to go visit a grandparent somewhere else.
And you can let them know, you know, 2 blocks around.
Exactly.
A lot of folks stick around the neighborhood, but some can go to neighborhoods that they don't know about. So it's good for them to know what the route is and what the traffic laws are in the area, too. Reflector lights, flashlights. You know, when I'm driving out on Halloween evening, I try to be really, really careful, but sometimes those little critters are hard to see.
They are, and a lot of costumes, of course, because of their genre, are darker in nature and colors. So you think of it like when the bicyclists are out, or you see joggers and walkers, there's plenty of reflective items, everything from tape you can apply to an item, clip-on items, small LED lights. The kids usually get a real kick out of the glow sticks. There are multiple colors. You can hang them on the costume. Sometimes they enhance the costume and they get a kick out of that.
Okay. What about homeowners? What can they do to make their home a safe place to see?
Well, certainly any exterior lighting they have it on. Then if they have any type of projects or obstructions perhaps out front that they can move safely, I would do so that folks don't trip on them or run into them.
I know a lot of folks get the porch all decorated and things like that. That's fine. Do you find that you get more police calls on Halloween night?
No, actually, with all the folks out in the community, I think folks are generally afraid to do anything they shouldn't, because there's more eyes out there.
Sure.
So it's generally a very even-keeled night for us.
Now, the other thing, too, that parents should think about when they're taking their children around is inspecting the candy.
Yes, absolutely. If you when you get back, and certainly by the fact that the parents or whoever is inspecting the candy, you're looking for any tampering with original packaging, any alterations to any natural items. It also gives the parent the opportunity to see if there's anything they really like too.
Yeah, and hopefully there's some healthy snacks in there. I got to put a plug in for that.
Yes.
I mean, a little candy can go a long way.
Yes.
But a little fruit won't hurt either.
Yes, exactly.
Sergeant, thank you very much for your time on In Edina. And I know you're not in costume, you're in uniform, and we appreciate you keeping our streets safe.
I wear one all year.
Thanks for joining us.
Sure.
Well, Halloween falls on just one day, but it's time to dress up for fall. And joining us to talk about just that, Larry Farr, Director of Merchandising right here at Bachman's. Thank you so much.
With hair right now.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I'm not going to keep wearing this. It's probably I haven't had this much hair in probably 20-some years.
But it is a good look.
Yeah, it is. I'm actually sell those right here at Bachman's.
Oh, really? Thanks so much for letting us bring the program right here in your store.
Thank
and
you.
You have so many nice things to show and tell for the fall. I love it when you're on because I get ideas for my house.
And real simple, easy ideas. And we'll start out with Halloween over here. A couple of trends we've noticed in Halloween, and actually this is an ongoing trend we've noticed for the last couple of years. The first is a vintage look. People are liking retro items, and this is not just with Halloween, but all of the holidays. And we're also noticing with all of the holidays a handmade look, like this pillow, which looks like it was hand-stitched.
It's kind of a back to the basics.
Yeah, handmade, a vintage look. Something that's really easy to do, and I like to do this in my house for Halloween. And for Halloween, I decorate the front entry, and so I do some things outside. You really want to focus it in a couple of areas, and that's the same with fall and Halloween. Maybe Halloween you'll do in the around your mantle, around your hearth, and the entryway. And then most of the people decorate for fall in their living room and dining room. They'll keep it on the table, the buffet, the side table. But I go out in my yard, I'll cut a branch, I'll just spray it black to give kind of a creepy look, and then I'll just hang some of the Spanish moss on it. Then you could really hang anything you want on there. You could hang some spiders on there if you want. And guess what? These spiders double as bracelets as well.
So you can wear it for your costume and hang it on the tree.
You could decorate with it and wear it. Something else that's a newer trend, we actually first noticed it last year, is this Deco Mesh. And I've got the fall Halloween colors here.
Love that.
But this is
beautiful.
Inexpensive, $7.99 for a big roll. And you can decorate a fireplace with this. It's just so shapeable and bendable.
Is that indoor, outdoor?
You can use it outside too. It's great to put maybe
Nice.
around over your door. You can mix it with spruce tops during the winter season. But Deco Mesh is just a great, easy,
quick fix.
inexpensive way to decorate.
Nice.
And continuing on with some fall Halloween ideas, we've got this spider. This is an exclusive for Bachman's, and all you have to do with that is just set your pumpkin on there, with or without the hat, and you've got an instant decoration. And we've mixed a lot of vintage things in at Bachman's. So continuing on our spider theme, we just found some vintage Jell-O molds, and we got some pipe cleaners from the craft store. We sprayed that Jell-O mold black, and we added the pipe cleaner legs to it. So this is something your kids could do.
Wow.
They just drill a few holes in there for the legs and
put a couple of buttons for the eyes. What a creative idea.
Very easy to make.
Are you finding that people are trying to be a little economic too this year?
Economical, yes, definitely. And looking for things always to do with your kids.
Yeah.
So recycling, repurposing, very, very popular right now.
Now this is interesting. What are you going to do with all this produce?
Okay, we're going to move over to fall decorating now. This is something we worked with a local welder to make these metal plates with the screws on it. I'm showing with a corn cob on this one. This is field corn, the corn that farmers grow to feed animals. And all we did is just put that corn cob on there. You'd line that maybe down the middle of a table, or go out and get a fresh artichoke. You could put that on there. You could also do it with apples. But produce is just so great to work into your fall decorating all the way into Thanksgiving, and just mix that in. And what you can do with the corn, if you want to just give it a little shine, just go to the craft store, buy some spray paint, the floral spray paint. We're not going to spray the entire thing. We're just going to take and give it little
highlights.
Highlights. You can do that on the corn. You can do that on pumpkins. Again, we're just highlighting part of that. It just gives a little bit of shine and sparkle with your fall corn and pumpkins.
I love the wheat. This is beautiful.
Yeah, and you know what? Instead of, we're going to kind of give this a different twist. We've got the vases over here. You just start with a clear cylinder vase, and you're going to figure out the right height. You're just going to cut your wheat off, and then once you have it in there, before you drop it in, you're just going to cut all the tops so they're straight. You can see this tall base that we've got here, and if you want to twist it, mix it up a bit, you could take and do the smaller base, and we've actually taken the wheat and we put it upside down, and this is a favorite idea of mine to put on the mantle of my fireplace.
Gorgeous. Really simple and smart. Now, you can do the same here with smaller vases.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, we've got some vintage items here. We've got the cowboy pitcher, and we were talking about this. I love taking mason jars and just using those for vases. It's so easy to use those for the fall season, or you can use vintage milk bottles to put flowers in, and you can either go out and buy flowers or go look in your own yard. I went out this morning and I cut some boxwood from my yard, this red coral bells, and then just some grasses. I put it in this really tall, slender vase, and any idea what this is?
It looks like a bed spring.
You're right, it is a vintage bed spring. All I'm going to do is just set that on my table. I'm going to drop this in the middle.
Oh, what a great idea.
And I've got an instant centerpiece.
Wonderful. Larry, you are so creative. This is absolutely gorgeous. Simple, vintage, and pretty easy, actually. All of these materials here are Bachman's, right?
Yes, everything we found at
What's
Bachman's.
the timeline for the fall decoration season?
You know what, really starting late September, all the way up to Thanksgiving for fall. Most people stick to October for Halloween decorating in their homes.
We really appreciate all your ideas, and happy Halloween, and thanks so much for the fall ideas.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. If you've got a Halloween party to get to, or you're just not sure what to fit the kids with this year, stop by the Halloween Boutique at Southdale Center. They will definitely outfit you, and to prove it, here are David Klein, manager, and model Crystal Emanuelson. Thanks for joining us on Edina. You look great.
Thank you.
Isn't it fun to get dressed up?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, what's big this year, David?
The Avatar stuff is really big. There's a lot of like movie themed stuff. Star Wars, Star Trek has always been a real big hit.
Star Wars.
Star
My
Wars.
goodness, that's a classic.
It's very classic.
So so movies are always big.
Correct.
And you have costumes, obviously top to bottom, since you've got the cute little Crayola crayon here.
Sure.
But for folks to buy, what's a costume go for these days?
They range from kids stuff from $19 and up, and they can go up as high as $70 to $80.
Okay, and
The
in
more
different
elaborate
sizes, and
Correct.
Yeah, a lot of the movies that are out too are kind of geared toward teenagers. You mentioned Avatar is a big deal.
Very big deal.
And how do you dress up like the characters for Avatar?
Some of them are bodysuits. There's a lot of makeup, but there's masks, and they're gonna get into the smaller costumes too. So it's just gonna be a mask and a little jumpsuit that a little guy or a little gal can throw on.
And you're modeling costumes. Do you model costumes, different ones every day in the store, or
Yeah,
you do?
I do.
Okay.
I try to switch them up throughout the day also.
Oh, throughout the day?
Yes.
You're changing clothes all the time?
Yeah.
Do you think that helps sell the costumes more, or give people a better feel for what it looks like on, or what?
Exactly. It gives them a better feel of what it looks like on. If they're not looking for something really racy, then they're going to know this maybe might not be the costume for me, or this is the costume that I want, and I'm going to go try it on right now.
Now, you're dressed as a gypsy today, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to ask for, really, what's popular when I go into the store, and I bet people ask you that all the time, or do they always have an idea of what they want?
They definitely do not always have an idea of what they want, but a couple questions and you can pretty much figure it out.
Is it a conversation you have to navigate sometimes between parents and children, like what you can wear and
Most
what you should wear?
definitely.
How do you navigate that?
Well, I kind of ask their age. Definitely is a big thing. Are mom and dad going to approve of this? And then I guess I kind of go off of if they want something more racy or if they want something more classy and just fun. And we just kind of build off of there. If they're willing to wear makeup, because that's a big deal. It can make a costume. Or
Makeup really, I mean, your makeup really accents the costume nicely.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does. So you sell makeup too at the shop too, which is helpful. Is it tough to put on? Or maybe another question is it hard to get off?
Some of them you have to have a specific remover, but they're really not that hard to get on. We can help you. We have directions. Most of the boxes have directions on the back of them on
Okay.
how to put it on.
Okay. What do you recommend for children who are small, maybe just starting out their first Halloween, infants or toddlers?
Well, we offer a fitting room, so we encourage the parents to actually like try different stuff on and think about like the weather in Minnesota is going to be a little cooler. So recommend anything that they're into. You know, the kids kind of know at a young age what they like and what
Yeah.
they don't like.
Yeah.
So we offer that, and usually that helps with the parents making the decision.
Do they come in different sizes, like your Crayola? Is that one size fits all? Or?
This one is pretty much a one size fits all.
Okay.
And then they do make the smaller kids ones as well.
I think it's a lot of fun to get dressed up for Halloween. I really enjoy it, and it's always fun to think, you know, what character can I be, or what fits in, or really what looks good too. And I'm sure all of that is part of your conversation.
Absolutely, and the fun part is you can be whatever you want for one day of the year. It doesn't matter what you want to be. You can actually be that and live out that character for one day and just have a whole lot of fun.
Now, Harry Potter's also hot, right?
Absolutely.
Is this the young Harry Potter or the old Harry Potter?
Both. We have a competition between both of them. Sometimes we'll get the parents in with the children, and they'll do both, and they'll do the whole character setup.
I should ask you about adult parties and things like that. I'll bet some adults have a good time in that shop trying to figure out what they're going to be.
Absolutely. A lot of theme parties, a lot of Star Trek parties, a lot of Star Wars parties, and you know, Freddy Krueger is still popular.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Those
Are you
kind of
open year
things.
round?
We're not open year round. We're open mid-September through, we go through November, and then we do one sale at the end.
Okay.
And then we pack it all up and ship it back to where it needs to go.
And you get ready for next year.
Correct.
All right. Well, you look great. Happy Halloween. Thank
Happy
you so
Halloween.
much for joining us on In Edina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pumpkins are a big part of Halloween, whether you carve them at home with the kids or maybe you just simply want to use them for baking pies, and especially if you buy them from Edina's Farmers Market. Joining us is farmer Peter Marshall. We really appreciate you joining us on
Thank
In
you.
Edina.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. You're a local farmer. Your farm is in Shakopee, right?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you been farming?
My whole life.
That's right. You grew up on a farm not too
In
far.
Eden Prairie.
In Eden Prairie. Okay, great. So the name of your farm is Peter's Pumpkins and Carmen's Corn. And are those the two popular items that you sell?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Our biggest items, I think.
Is it all produce that you have? What kinds of
Yes.
produce do you have?
We have watermelons, cantaloupe, zucchini, beans, just everything you can grow in Minnesota. Leeks, onions, you know, a lot of different varieties of things that we can grow in Minnesota.
How big is your farm?
40 acres.
40 acres. All right. So you produce quite a bit of produce, and you sell it at the Centennial Lakes Farmers Market, which runs all summer around July 1st through the month of September. And of course, a big popular item this year is going to be your pumpkins, right?
Yes.
Great. How is the Farmers Market this year? It's our first one.
Fantastic.
Really?
Yes.
Great. Why is it fantastic?
I think the quality there is very high. I think the atmosphere is good with the park setting. It's fun for the vendors. It's also fun for the people that come down and buy produce. Or just
Wonderful.
walk around and look at what we have.
Wonderful. So I bet you'll be back next year.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to have some pumpkins for sale at the farmer's market, right? How was the season? How was the crop?
I think it looks really good right
Really?
now.
Okay.
We're probably a little bit ahead of schedule, but it looks really nice.
Are we ahead of schedule because we had an early spring?
I think
or-
everything's ahead, yeah. And the heat really helped too.
How about the watering?
I think that's been good too.
Okay.
For as long as you weren't in a low area.
All right. So we're going to have a bumper crop, right?
I think so.
Wonderful. What the pumpkins take a long time to produce, right? So since you're in the business of farming, do you need to sell all the crop? Do you consider amount that you're not going to be able to turn around for sale, for profit, or what goes through your mind when you get ready to plant the season?
There's a lot of excitement, for sure. A lot of optimism that we're going to have a good year. But every year's different. Weather is probably our biggest dictator on whether we have a good crop or not.
Okay.
And the farmers markets are probably the biggest asset as me as a farmer to have.
Especially for a small farmer.
Yes, and to be able to bring out our produce and be able to sell it right to our customer.
You get a lot
Yeah.
of pride in your work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are you looking for when you're looking for that perfect pumpkin?
I would say a deep orange. There's different types of pumpkins, but generally most people go for the big orange pumpkins.
With the big stalk on it.
Yes, green, big, thick stem. Also looking for soft spots to make sure there's no soft spots. on there is very important.
But we've got a bumper crop this year, so everything is available from Peter's Pumpkins and Kramer's Corn at the Centennial Lakes Farmers Market. All right. Well, wish you a healthy yield this year, and we'll see you this Halloween.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Each month, In Edina features a volunteer or an act of kindness by an individual, family, or organization. In keeping with our Halloween theme this month, we'd like to recognize Diana Fleetham, who volunteers her time to make Edina's Pumpkin Fest a trick-or-treat for all ages.
Thank you for calling the Optical. This is Diana. How may I help you?
Optician Diana Fleetham works full-time at the Optical, helping people
See how this is here.
see clearly.
Now let me go just a hair more.
But Fleetham's part-time passion
Last year I was a hippie.
is working on
The year before that I was diabolic in my Dracula cape.
a whole new look.
And the year before that I was a pirate.
Just for Halloween.
When I started here, I started on October 30th in '03. And the first question I asked was, okay, so are you guys dressing up tomorrow? So I love Halloween. It's fun.
So much fun. Diana volunteers her spare time, dressing up co-workers and others for trick-or-treating, not just at work.
So I said, well, if I brought you costumes from my house, would you dress up? And so I brought costumes for everyone and they all dressed up.
But as part of Edina's annual Pumpkin Fest.
Pumpkin Fest especially for me is fun because I love Halloween. It's a chance to play dress up. You get to be someone you're not on a normal basis.
During Pumpkin Fest, an annual fall event which takes place on 50th in France, where local businesses donate candy and host family activities.
Number 8 is the second winner.
There's face painting and pumpkin pinning, not to mention a cakewalk at the fountain that gives young and old a treat to eat. All organized by volunteers like Diana, whose Dracula costume made front page news one year.
Grab it with both hands and go shoosh.
Making Pumpkin Fest worth a good look, because it's not really hard work for volunteers like Diana Fleetham.
There's so many people involved that are all such hard workers. It's not work. You know, it's really a lot of fun.
He did the Monster Man.
In addition to Pumpkin Fest, Diana Fleetham also volunteers every year at Edina's Art Fair. We hope you've enjoyed our special Halloween broadcast. We'd like to thank all of our guests for telling their stories. Special thanks to Bachman's Home and Garden Center for letting us bring you this broadcast from their beautiful store on Lyndale. Thanks too to Twin Cities Magic and Costume for loaning me this gorgeous dress, and to you for watching. We hope you have a wonderful and safe Halloween. Thanks again for watching In Edina. Until next time, I'm your host, Lillian McDonald. Make it a great day.